In this video, we're looking at something pretty darn cool. I'm going to show you how we can replace the MIDI drums with our very own drum samples here in GarageBand. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete and welcome to Studio Live today. Now, big thanks to my friend Gary Hubbs who put me onto this. I have done this before, but he was listening to my new song here called New Beginning, and he noticed that here at the end we had this crash and kick sound coming in here, and he said, Pete, you need to choke that cymbal because it will sound so much more powerful. And I said, Gary, you're right. And not only did he tell me that, he provided me with his own choke sample for me to put in here. So here's how these cymbals sound at the moment. And it's a really big crescendo end of this song, and that just that ringing of the cymbal, of that crash cymbal, doesn't work for the part. If we take a listen to it here in the final bit, it goes like this.
Oh, right now, now.
So we need a choke sound here. We need to be able to choke down on this cymbal, which just means the cymbal crash is hit and then grabbed. So it's the equivalent of choking it, just like that. So what we're going to do is bring in a sample here to add to these drum tracks to make that work for us. Now, because Gary is super awesome, he's done most of the hard work for me here. He's provided me with this, his own signature choke cymbal sample. And here's the even better news. He's going to let you download it too. That's right. There's a link down in the description to where you can download this sound and use it in your projects. So here's what it sounds like. You can hear there that we've got the crash hit, but then it's like the grab there. So you've got a little bit of resonance, but nowhere near as much as we do in the original crash sound. So we're going to import this into our project. Now, I won't show you in detail. There's a video linked up there and in the description if you want to learn how to download and then import into your GarageBand project. So let's just jump over to GarageBand now, bring in this sample and see if we can line up these crash hits. So here's the spot where we want to put this in. We've got our original drum part. Now, the reason this is a single stereo WAV file is this is just Anders, our virtual drummer. I've just used him at a different tempo and then brought that into here. The reason is that this song has a tempo change, which GarageBand doesn't really support unless you do this, unless you grab another project, use the drummer track, and then bring it in here as a WAV file. And then we go into this final crash section. So let's just play this last little bit and you'll hear how these drums transition into this final part. So that's what we want to get here. But the problem is we want that kick sound, but we want to add this new crash cymbal sound. So the first thing we need to do is import our new sample. So to do this, we're going to come up here to our loop icon, tap on that one. We're here in Files. Now we want to browse items from the Files app. So wherever you've saved this, if you've downloaded it yourself, come in here and browse for it. So what I can do, I've actually saved it here in my iCloud Drive. Here we are, iCloud Drive under my Studio Live today, under my beats and loops, and it should be this one here, the Gary Hubbs trademarked choke. So we'll tap on that one. That's going to bring this in here, and in a matter of seconds, there it is. If we tap on it, there's the sample. If we want to bring it in, we tap and hold, drag it on in, and I'm going to pop it on this track up here. So we'll just pop it there like that. There it is. So there is our choke sound that we can actually start using in our track. Now you notice here that we've got this on this drum track above. This is where I'll use it. If you needed to create a separate track, that's no problem at all. In fact, just for clarity, let's duplicate on it. We've run out of tracks. We can't duplicate. What we could do if you had enough tracks left is duplicate that out and then move it down there. But this will work for our purposes here because this is actually going to line up. There's the very start of our waveform, and there's where it needs to be. Now, what we need to do first of all, before we start playing around with this, is tap on this one, and we're actually going to remove the crash sounds from this one. So you can see here, we've got the crash, and we've got the kick. So we need to keep those kick drums, but we're going to just tap and drag across all of those crashes. Tap, hit delete, they're gone. So now, if we come back in here, we've only got those kick sounds. So if we listen to this transition now without doing any other editing, so it's just got that, it's just hit that one choke sound. That's okay, right? But it's not really going to work for what we want here because we need a bunch of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the original file and just throw this down at the end here, just so we've got an original version of it. We can then tap it, we can then copy it, and then we can paste it wherever we need it. So we'll come here to the first spot we need it. So tap, tap again, hit paste. Now it's going to be like going over the top of itself. So all we need to do is drag this back, line this right up with the start of our kick drum, and we can actually zoom all the way in to turn snap to grid off because we want this to line right up like that. Because remember, these are not on the grid because we're using that faster tempo. So there you go, we've got that one there. All we then need to do now is grab another copy of it. So I think I already had it copied, but we'll just copy it and then we'll line it up to where we want the next version of it. Bring it on here and tap it, tap again, hit paste. So let's see how this is going to sound for this first little part here, and let's take a listen. Yeah, that's really cool. What we'll actually do though is just bring that out there so we get the resonance on that second one because we want to just keep it going. So now it'll be like this. Yeah, cool. So now what we need to do is just the same thing again. So what we can do, we can tap here, we can copy it again, and we can put it in the next spot we need it. So line it right up with there again, zoom all the way in so we can go right in line with that. Tap, tap again, hit paste, and then do the same thing again. We can come into here. Because we've still got it copied, it should let us just paste it again. Is it going to? Paste over the top. Yeah, there we go. Look, I've just improved my workflow. So let's just take a listen to these first two here now. Yeah, cool. And then the next one, it might even line up if we just do this. If we tap and hold and drag over those two and copy, we should be able to just line these up against these ones here and make this work. Again, zoom all the way in to get our grid off, line it right up against there, tap it, tap again, hit paste. Has that lined it up? No, it hasn't because we slowed down a little bit, but no problem. No harm, no foul. All we need to do is grab this. Whoop, not both of them. Undo. Grab just one of them and drag it like this. And you can see you get that little line on the left that helps you line things up all nice like. So there we go. Like that. Just move this one to cover the little bit in between. And then the final one here is going to be even slower. So we'll try to paste it in and then we'll just adjust it. Zoom on in. You get the gist of this, but we're just going to finish it off so that we can make sure it sounds all good and nice. So this final one is probably, keep holding them both together. Tap off, tap back on, drag it, line it up, and then grab this one. We can get a little bit more of that in there now. So let's now take a listen to this. We won't need this last one anymore. We'll tap that, we'll delete it. Let's listen to this, that we've brought these sample replacements in here now, and we'll take a listen to the transition. So there you go. And we may even want this last one to be a full crash. Now, of course, we can adjust these sounds. So we can change the volume because these are a little bit loud compared to everything else we have there. So what we can do is tap and hold, drag across all of them, tap on one, tap again, go to our settings, and let's just clip gain these down maybe about 4 dB, just so that they sit in the mix a little better. We can EQ them and change them again. If we put them on a different track, we can change the EQ and the settings here in the plugins to make them sound exactly as we want. But for now, let's bring these back into our mix, shall we? And see with just these little tweaks in just a matter of 5 minutes, what we've been able to do with this sample. Let's take a listen.
Go right now! 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 Now!
Cool, right? That sounds so much better than what we originally had. And like I was saying before, what we may even want to do, so say we didn't want this last one. Whoop, keep deleting both. So we didn't want this very last one. We tap it, we delete that one. We might want to bring the actual crash back in for this end part. So hit edit there, and then all we need to do is find our crash there, turn on our editor, whack it there. Oh, that's better. Okay, turn that on there, and then just line this one up again with our kick drum. Put it as close as we can. Zoom it on in. Snap to grid is off. Get it right there, and then yeah, just make. Oh, don't want a second one. Just make sure it's right where we need it to be. Extend the end a little bit. Not that it matters with a crash hit, and we're done. So we'll hit done on that one. And then this final one is actually going to be the crash. So let's just take a listen to this again and see if it's going to sound any better with this final one being a full crash sound.
Go right now! 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 Now!
Not quite. I think we need to work on that. And maybe we don't even need that. Or maybe we just do like a big sort of cymbal roll right at the end there. So I'm going to go away and experiment with this. But how cool is this? And this works for everything. I've done other videos on guitar loops as well, which you can check out down below. And there's a whole bunch of other ways that you can import different sounds as WAV files directly into your GarageBand projects here to use them. I hope you found this one useful. Thanks again to Gary. You rock. I'll see you next time, folks. Choking it just like that.